What's going on, guys? We are just outside of Columbus, Ohio. Drove up here, which is the halfway point to Buffalo, New York, which is where this kid who is taking my VIP modulars is from. But I'm not just getting rid of my wheels today, I'm also taking home another set of wheels. Not going to show you them yet, but I'm very excited about it. I have Martin with me and Dallas as well. Me and Dallas match cars, but we also match outfits. Hell yeah. I'm excited. I'm so pumped. The next setup for the car is going to be dope, and I'm kind of sad to be getting rid of VIP modulars.
Got all the essential stuff right here.
Martin bought how many fucking Hot Wheels?
$50 worth. Take 4 from the back and put them in the front.
Why are we doing this?
Because it puts the rarest card to the back of the pack. So
they have an order as to where they put the rarest card.
Yeah, well, I have to learn that. All right, we put the 4 cards to the front.
Yeah.
Now flip it over. Okay. Now you should have an energy on the front. Yes.
No.
Okay. Well, you did it wrong then. Okay. So then.
Yo, his face looks like a nutsack.
All right.
Okay. I have a pin cushion.
Okay.
It's like a sea mine with nutsacks on its face. Oh, this one's a good one!
You got a reverse Sudowoodo, which is a decent car.
Why'd you take my moment away? I was gonna say it's a Sudowoodo. He's like the, you know those...
Hot dog.
You ever get those salami things when you're a kid that come in like a little package? That's what that is. Vitality band, that's like a chastity belt. What the fuck is that? Is that an Angry Bird? Thacky? Oh, a clobopus. Now that...
Yo, that's what we do, bro.
Now that is some phrasing I like. A wooler is the sound I make after I clobopus.
Probably. Is this our guy?
Is our guy? Right here, boy! Boy! You ready? Bye! Saying goodbye to these.
Oh no.
We're gonna do like side by side.
Alright, Liam, some of us want to stay dry. Admire him when we get home. Want to shout out on Instagram?
Good. VIP. It's my Instagram.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what's up. Alright, cool.
Just
each letter?
Owner, so.
Hey.
Stay tuned if you want to see my wheels. Go on another LS.
Hey.
This is black, so it might actually look better.
Hell yeah.
Chrome on black is fire. You gotta get some chrome tint on. Like basically like recreate the same thing.
We know where to get chrome tint though. We know where to get chrome tint if you want the hookup.
Yo, what's going on, guys? I am coming to you from a slightly different angle today. I am not using my regular camera. I decided to pick up a GoPro because I figured it would actually be super easy for videos like these when I'm like working on my car and I don't want to worry about changing settings and if my camera can bother to focus on anything because it's a pile of shit. I just grabbed I can't talk today. I grabbed a GoPro and I'm going to be using this for like little tutorial or tips and tricks videos with photography stuff as well. Just point of view stuff. But anyway, enough about the camera. Today we're doing a video on the LS. It's been a little while since I've had a proper update on this thing. And I have some very, very exciting things to show you today. You might be able to see just slightly in the back. I have new wheels. And I have some big plans for what is happening with this car. So before we get onto the wheels, because I know that that's probably what all of you guys are ready to see, is what the fuck are these new wheels? I've seen a teaser on Instagram. They look enormous. And for everybody saying that they're work emits, they're not work emits. That's a joke. Anybody who knows me knows that I absolutely hate emits. They're the most boring played out wheel ever. They're not work emits. But yeah, let's hop out. I'm gonna show you some new things on the car, talk about the plans, show you the wheels, and then we're gonna do a little test fit today because I have yet to put these on the car. So we're gonna see how much work this is gonna be. Okay, so first off, I'm gonna show you the front end of the car. There is no front bumper on here because the other day I was driving to work and I hit a raccoon, like right here, just hit it like a fucking brick wall, and the bumper got like folded underneath the car. It's pretty fucked up, but it's repairable. I'm honestly amazed that it didn't just like implode. So that's kind of good, but also bad because I fucked it up. But that brings me on to the next thing. I'm going to be doing bodywork to this car, so it's not really a big deal that I have to redo the bumper. And when I talk about bodywork, I'm talking about this right here. So this has been in the plan pretty much since I bought the car. You might be thinking, why do you have a Fender flare mocked up on your car? Well, I have wanted to do a high radius flare on this car since I bought it. It's like the one thing that I've been obsessed with, and my biggest pet peeve with these cars, and actually a lot of cars, is the rear arches sit too low, so you always tuck really hard in the rear and like not that much in the front. The only way to avoid it is to have like this weird rake, so if you want like matching fitment, the car's gonna like sit at an angle. So if you have it level, it's gonna tuck way harder in the back, and it drives me nuts. So what I've decided to do is I'm gonna do high radius flares, and they're not super high radius. The fronts are gonna be pretty close to normal, maybe slightly higher, and then the rears are gonna be way higher, to basically match the height of the fronts. Let me show you what I have here. This is a 1-inch ulterior motives flare. This is actually the LS400 specific. Now, I bought 2 of these because I'm basically using these will go on the front, and then I'm using these as a reference for the rear, so that I can see, you know, what I actually need to order and take measurements. As you can see on this, the width of the arch is much wider in the front, so it doesn't fit up perfectly. So basically, yeah, I'm going to custom order the rears to be, you know, the same height as the front. They're just going to have a smaller width right here, and try and get this kind of arch radius to follow this as naturally as possible. And I am sure that there are some of you that are looking at this and you're like, that looks terrible. There's a piece of metal on the side of the car. Now, I thought it would be obvious, but to some people maybe it isn't. These will be welded on the car and fully bodyworked, so that they're smooth, and it's essentially going to look pretty OEM plus. I didn't go with a wide flare. I really didn't want to go crazy wide. I wanted to basically do what I thought it should look like from the factory, and so I'm keeping it really subtle. These are just 1 inches wide. As you can see from above, really doesn't upset the lines of the car too much. But that was one of the big things with this car, especially like right here. There's no real body line on this part of the car. Like, this is just flat body panel, and so this kind of breaks it up a little bit, makes it slightly more sporty looking, I guess. That's not exactly what I'm going for, but this will be smoothed out, and then this is going to be something that needs to be addressed and is going to be a lot of work far beyond my expertise. But yes, the door jambs are going to need to be relocated so that, 1, I can fit these giant fucking wheels, and 2, obviously the door line will be refigured out to, I don't know, probably like follow up on this a little bit. It may not even, I don't know. We'll get to that when we get to it, but this is the rough idea. You know, this is how high it's going to go, considerably higher than it is right there. And then the fronts, it's not too much higher, like you can see. It's just subtle. But yeah, I'm pretty stoked about this. Like I said, this is like the one thing that I've been obsessed with since I got this car, so I'm finally ready to do this, I think. And of course, that brings me on to the next thing. The reason that I'm ready to do this is because I now have wheels that are perfect specs for this. I didn't plan this, at least not yet. Seems to be kind of the way of things with this car. I'm pretty much just playing it by ear, and it just so happened that I came across a post of somebody, you know, they posted up a set of wheels that are pretty aggressive. They're really nice, and he listed them, just putting it out there like a feeler post to see if anybody wanted to trade, because he impulsively bought them thinking that it would probably be pretty easy to put them on these cars. You can run fairly aggressive offsets on a stock body LS400, but these were way too aggressive, and he didn't want to do the work, or at least not yet, so early into his project, to try and make those wheels fit. He kind of wanted something where he can you know, do a little bit of work and just have it looking good, and I understand that completely. I definitely, like a year ago, I definitely would not have got these wheels and been like, yeah, I'm just gonna do all the work to make them fit. It wouldn't have happened. But now I was in the right position, so I offered a straight trade for the VIP modulars. I had some emotional attachment to those wheels, but here's the thing: the specs were not that impressive. So if it did ever come time to me selling those, it's highly unlikely that anybody would have bought them for, I probably would have sold them for like $3,500, and it's pretty unlikely that anybody would buy them just because the specs aren't that great. And I could have rebuilt the VIPs, but here's the thing: buying chrome lips is obviously more expensive, and I'd have to buy new barrels for those as well because they have absolutely huge barrels, and if I added any more camber, I'd be hitting the struts. So I decided it wasn't worth spending $1,500 to $2,000 to rebuild those wheels and never see a return on that expense at all, and do this straight trade. Like, why not? These specs are almost perfect for what I need, and might as well do it. I don't know that I'll keep these wheels forever, but I love the way that they look, and I really cannot wait to get them on the car like right now and just kind of see how far off I am, and that will be the decider of, well, it's not a decider, I'm definitely doing it, but it'll let me know how much work I'm about to have to do. So yeah, without further ado, I'm going to show you the wheels. Boom. Right here we have, this is one of the fronts. It needs a little clean. It was raining when we went and picked these up, but these are Rotiform DIAs. They're 19s. I'll pull them out and I'll go over the specs. Here is the front. This is a 19 by 10.5, -10. So my VIPs, they were 19, 10.5 plus 23, was it? No, plus 28. And then I ran an inch spacer, so that brought them down to +3. So yes, the offsets are considerably more aggressive on these, being -10. The other thing is they also do not have any disc clearance whatsoever. No idea what car these were made for. So I do have to run a spacer. It might have to be an inch spacer. So we'll see how these sit up. The lips on the front, I believe, are 6-inch lips. And then here's the rear. It is fucking massive. So the rears are 19 by 12, -20. Just that, for me, that's huge. And then these they're like 7 or 8-inch lips on here. They're absolutely enormous. And just look at the sheer fucking size of these things. There is one major downfall of these wheels. They do look great. The specs are pretty much where I want them. They're actually the style wheel that I like. They are not chrome. The VIPs were chrome plated, and I go on and on about how you should have chrome wheels because they're easy to clean and they always look amazing. These are polished, and that is obviously the biggest flaw, but I was willing to sacrifice that. And like I said, I don't know how long I'll keep these wheels for. For me, it's pretty much a case of like figuring out the exact specs that I need for the setup that I want. These happen to be that, so I don't mind running these for the time being until I'm ready to move on to whatever the next setup is. So I'll put up with the polished for the time being. Wish they were chrome, but honestly that probably would have been too good of a deal to be true then. So that's the small sacrifice. I should mention that you guys have heard me talk about my like favorite wheels. My all-time favorite wheel is like the VIP Modular VXS 610. These are pretty similar. They're a 5-hole face, and a buddy of mine actually reminded me today, he calls these the cinema wheels because they look like a cinema camera's like film roll. I hadn't thought of that, and that is perfectly ironic for me, that I would have a set of wheels that mimics a roll of film. So that's dope. Yeah, enough talking. let's jack this piece of shit up and fucking put these wheels on and see where we're at. Alright, so I already have a 25mm spacer on here, so I'm just going to keep that on here. I don't want to try and take this off right now because I know it's going to be a bitch. So it's likely that I'm going to have to run these wheels with this or a 20mm because of the brake clearance. So we should be good with this, like no problems, it won't hit, but without it, there's no way. Also, all of the tires, well, the front tires are flat because they don't have the little valve stem thing that goes in the valve stem, whatever it's called, the little pin. I don't fucking know. Still gonna drop it down. If it debeads, it debeads. I don't actually give a shit, to be honest with you. I just want to see how this sits. It's so bad. So I have hub-centric rings off of the G35 wheels. I have a feeling that these are 350Z wheels, and so maybe, just maybe, I'm gonna have to get up again. Fuck. And it is. I think these came off of a 350Z. Interesting. I've seen these on a 350Z, I swear. So, if you own a 350Z or you owned these wheels, let me know. I'd be interested to see whose they were. And my god, they're fucking heavy. Oh my god. Alright, we'll do a little one stop at a time. Let's see. Oh, that's resting on the fender now. Just take the pressure off of that. Like, for real? You see where the flare's at? It is not far. Like, as it is right now, it would air out to like fender to lip, I think. I obviously can't go any lower because the fender is right there. But fuck, that's genuinely impressive, and that's with a 25mm spacer. I think I want to run a little bit more camber, so that actually works out really well. That looks fucking huge. I think these wheels look so big because they don't have step lips like my VIPs did. So the faces themselves are 19 inches. Like, that's fucking massive. Yeah, ideal drive height is going to be like right here. Hell yes, I'm fucking stoked on that. Time to do the rears. I had to get this spacer off, which you guys know how getting spacers off can be sometimes. Well, guys, I'm pretty sure I nailed it. This is basically like max height right now, and it gets a lot more camber when it goes in. I would say I'm pretty close to being exactly where I want it on that. Obviously, that is extremely high right now. My car has not been that high in a long time. God damn. What a fucking big ass wheel. Man, I really wish I could just drop that down further. Oh, I want to see how it's gonna sit, but I can't. So yeah, it's starting to look like I may not even have to run any more camber. I'd like to get like a little bit more. I kind of want to sit at -10 all the way around, but I'm not mad either way. Keeping the car like functional is definitely a huge plus. Holy shit, just look at the girth. That radius is so much higher. That's crazy. Honestly, I think that the rears are gonna be kind of weak. I think I might need a spacer in the rear. Like, the way I'm looking at it right now, like, that'll camber under there like crazy. Alright, well, that's pretty much going to conclude this video. I have to get this back together before it gets dark, which is not long. So yeah, you guys, as far as like time frame for this being done, I don't know. I'd like to have the car done, like finished by Gatlinburg. I don't know how doable it's going to be, and we also don't know if Gatlinburg's even going to be a thing yet. They have said that it is. We just don't know what's going to be going on with the coronavirus. So if everything gets back to normal and I'm able to like go back to doing business, then yeah, we should be good to go. But we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated on here, and you know, follow me on Instagram at LEP_automotive or at LEP_LS400 to see the pictures and shit of the car. But I'll be posting regularly progress on this. Main thing for me right now is I have to figure out where I'm going to do this. I don't have a space to work on my car. Right now I'm in our gravel driveway, which is obviously not where I'm going to work on this. So yeah, that is going to be getting figured out hopefully soon. Once I get that figured out, you know, I can start actually cutting shit, I guess. The fronts are going to be real easy to do. The rears, I'm going to have to obviously have the flares custom made. I'll take measurements after this and make sure that I get everything exactly where I want it. And yeah, I am unbelievably stoked for this. It couldn't have worked out better, really. If I'd rebuilt the VIPs, I would have had a whole bunch of money dumped into those wheels, and I love those wheels, and they're not my dream wheels, and neither are these, but I didn't pay a penny for these, and the specs are exactly where I wanted them. So I can't complain with that at all. And I think later on in the year, or whenever it is that I'm able to, I'm definitely going to do a completely different set of wheels that people aren't expecting, that will actually be like my dream. Yeah, guys, thank you for watching. Stay tuned, really. I'm very excited about what's to come for this car, and obviously there's going to be more. Like my general idea is that I want to have this thing on the ground and driving in like June, end of June. Like the majority of the flares will be on, the wheels will be on, the suspension will be set where I want it. And like right before getting an alignment, just I want to put some miles on it. I always like, whenever I'm doing a different setup, I always like to make sure that I'm driving it actively and dialing it in as I go and making any adjustments that I need to, because I like to make sure that my cars are drivable. It doesn't matter how much camber it has, I want it to be drivable. So yeah, end of June, I'm hoping I can have this on the ground and driving around. It'll look like shit and be all like fucking primered up and whatever, but yeah, the main thing will be that and getting it dialed in, and then hopefully, you know, July or August getting it into paint, and that'll be like the final step will be paint and the exhaust. Probably I'm gonna do paint before the exhaust, just so that you don't get, you know, it's easier to spray under the that part of the bumper or whatever. Which actually I got another rear bumper, but I'm not going to show it in this video. That'll be in a completely different video. I managed to find a rear bumper, and I'm very excited about it. Alright, I'm going to stop talking. I'm just way too excited, and I keep rambling, and I need to put this thing back before it's dark. So thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Drop a subscribe if you want to fucking see more of this car, and we will see you in another video.